this morning going to share with you all what about the practice of mind purification. I want you to pay more close attention to this, because this is what the spiritual or the yogi tradition that who named himself the yogi tradition of renunciation or aloneness. Once we want to practice concentration, they have the root of concentrate, the power of concentrate, and right concentrate means right concentration, means you form the right concentration. How we're going to practice the four foundations of mindfulness is one of the skills of all. Such this training is rooted to the body and feeling to the body. From there on, pull the observation or pull the right contemplating into this very body, feeling into this very body, to interior purification. So object to this very interior feeling and right contemplate to this feeling means you are from this feeling of the body to the interior purification. So from there we start, we form oneness of the mind. Means the mind is only you can feel either the body or the feeling of the breathing, or you feel the mindset of activity. So other that, the senses contact, you seal it up. This is the first purification. Not let your mind, when you are doing the concentrate, the root is body, breathing, and mindset. So when you contemplate into this, feeling to the body, feeling to the breathing, and feeling to the mind, then you will find mind have lots of going on to disturb the reality. The reality is the breathing and the body. So the breathing and the body is not always pay attention, but a lot of time you pay attention to the mental activity. So the mental activity, we call it hindrances or fight. Large challenge. So we need to have a lot of conditions to support the practice. This condition already written down in the teaching of four Satipatthana. I'm not going to mention. I'm going to mention about the powers of meditation, of concentration. So the power of concentration means the purification by focus and bring this oneness of mind into possible, means you are feeling to the breathing, feeling to the body as you contemplate all the time. Because of once you concentrate it long enough, intensive enough, then slowly, slowly, the mind will follow this pattern habitual and form it. Yeah, I can know the body more clear. Yeah, I can know the breathing more clear. And then they always can link into the present and not let it absent. Yeah, this is the process. And then all this sickness of the mind, we call hindrance, is slowly, slowly distant, because mind can pull it right now and here. This is mindfulness. You see? So the mindfulness already been mentioned yesterday. Not going to mention. Right now, going to mention concentrate. Concentrate means object is clear in front of the mind. Means right now and here, the object very clear, show it there. So this purification of mind, of oneness of mind, have very profound meaning in the yogi practice. So the yogi trains his concentration deeper, deeper, deeper into the mind and get released part by part, overcome all these disturbances of the deep into concentrate of mind. So that the sutra said that it goes into many, many states to overcome all the, not only the physical object, or we call it the form object, and other than this purification of form object, the mind will feeling into perception, the perception object. We call that nim, not only form. But from that nim object, he still need to go more feeling into the perception. Means from the rising and ceasing of the mental state, he is very, very such. Not let that rising and ceasing become distant. Means he become really into being. I use the word, means the sharpening of the awareness, contemplate, is right there waiting like the holes of the wall. You're waiting for the mouse. So the cat waiting for the mouse is no reaction at all, no feeling at all, the mouse can feel. So the mouse come out. The cat targeting like that. So the calmness, the purification of its mindful is what already mentioned yesterday. So here is, when this going on and on, what is the concentrate power can be processed. Slowly, slowly, the feeling cease. Feeling of what cease? Feeling of the body and the breathing can be ceases. The second, contemplate ceases. We cannot understand by ordinary mind. What is contemplate cease? Means mind no more talking, no more thinking pattern. Totally pure there. Means from the scientist's point of view, means your blood circulation, your pulse, your heartbeat, and your MRI of the mind. That is according to the natural science, always active there, have functioning of active show there. But the concentration power, according to the teaching, advance more than what scientists knowing. How he can do that? This is called concentrate power. Here, I want to say, when the yogi practice this, he is not in the belief system. He is in the mental science of lab experience. Enough explanation of the purification of mind in concentration. I want to use an example. Tell a story about right concentration. In many, many years ago, one of my good friends take his two sons, a daughter, and wife and husband, 5 of them come and visit me. And take a trip, take me 9 days with them. A trip for sightseeing tour in this country, United States. And only one require or demand he is asking. I want my daughter and 2 sons take refuge in Buddhism. That's it. And the 2 sons and daughters, already teenagers, not much knowing Buddhism. How can he take refuge in a foreign, unknowing monk the first time meet? Most of the time. Challenging. So we take trip to Arizona, that desert, what we call that? The Great Canyon. The Great Canyon. The Grand Canyon. And the dam in, what we call that? The Fofo Dam? Over Dam, and then take the airplane, fly up there. The airplane guy going down into deep valley and want to scare us. A lot of funny things. And then you know the teenagers, they're always excited and yelling and show all the exciting moment. I never, no matter what's going on, I'm a yogi. I just back to the body, back to the breathing, and feeling, contemplating in the body, in the feeling, not let any shaking moment, shaking my mind. So always seal up on the way. Then when we come to Los Angeles, we go to more excited journey is Universal Stadium. So that from that into this more excited journey, you know what? In the West, they have some kind of meditation practice. Is the artificial of the statue, so that a real man just painted himself, make up himself like an artificial piece of art, so that you hang outside, so they're not moving, and then people just think you are the artificial piece. And then when you come close and you scare them like that. I think you know what I mean. Yeah. So that is how I see. In the European, in the Western culture, they have meditation object. They can do that. And when you go to this state Europe, one journey we're facing to is you go in, you buy a ticket, you go into the dark path, very dark inside, no this and that, but they have a lot of horror phenomenon. You need to face into that reality. And then just more excited, so that outside they will check. Heart attack, not go in. You respond yourself. So means larger, more excited people want to face into. So that the three children, daddy, mommy, they say, oh, this trip we need to hide at the back of Sifu. Sifu is a martial arts master, so let Sifu in front. So they're all hiding, and my friend, I am going into the dark, cannot use eye, cannot use ear. What can I do if anything happens? Never know what is going on. Very blank in the mind, not have any prediction. Then need to facing into such moment of reality. Come into the contact. So I just give me some moment. I concentrate before start, and I just take some deep breathing, like the Western culture says. Once you feel been disturbed, you just take 3 deep breathing. So I just get ready. Okay, start the journey. And we move into the darkness. So one challenge carry on to the next. come to one moment, then we pass. I just have a little bit touching. Something is happening in my head, so that I just have that kind of martial art action, and then my hand just one click, and then my right hand punching to touching to something. It's the nose. No hitting, no hitting. So the guy is shouting, oh, no hitting, because I hit to his nose, and then he feels painful, and then he said, no punching, no punching. Then at the back of all children, he said, the Sifu is more advanced. Okay, so his hand being blocked by my left hand, and then my right hand just like Wing Chun punching, bonk, hitting with his nose. And then I said, oh, sorry, that is the big problem. And I'm excited in that moment, and then we passed that. And then when come to the back into the hotel, so in that journey, come to this moment, the three children already from the excited moment come to contemplate moment. Their mind is really feel this monk of calmness and immediate reaction in suchness, means in the such moment that his react is so accurate and protected. That touching to these three kids, and then come back to the hotel, then they're required to their father and mother. We want to take refuge to this monk. And from there on, they take refuge me in the hotel. I'm not expected that fast and easy. Until right now, in that moment we talk about 5 precepts, 3 refuges of the right understanding in Buddhism. They take refuge and take 5 precepts. Right now they almost go to 30 years and more. Only one son not married yet. The brother have 2 children already, and the sister too have 2 children already. I just meet them 2 weeks ago when I was in Malaysia. The whole grandson, grandchildren, father, mother, grandpa, grandmother all come together and take another times of grandchildren, grandson all take the refuge in front of me. And wishing to become a Buddhist. So this time it's more easy because I'm not much changing in my calmness. And this time I give them a sheet of teaching. That is the teaching of Jixiangjing. What is Jixiangjing in English? Yes, the highest blessing. So I say, this time not much exciting journey we have. So therefore the grandson, granddaughter in the future, you all of yourself need to teach them very well, because master getting old and distant very far from you all. Only you pay investigation and do research, you can advance yourself in teaching. Because after the refuge last time until now, you all still remain in the same experience, not been processed into the mind purification. So the profound meanings of the training of the body and mind, you are not getting any improvement. So that the grand bar come to little bit anxiety and want to challenging me little bit. He said this, last night I reading this short teaching. It may not easy to understand by them. See, Shifu, can you explain a little bit before you back to United States? Because after the take refuge, they are all busy men, very, very busy. So the second, they are what we call that, 司机.
The driver?
Yeah, the driver. They all have car and driver. Or they take to the business, and some fly, so that cannot listen to my talk. So the grandma said, oh, you need to record the talk. I and Kung Yan think a little bit. I said that Kung Yan, we need to give something for their demand, fulfill that in our journey district. Otherwise, might not cut the condition in the next, because I need to distance myself from this family. Because their way is business, my way is religious. So that the next day before lunchtime, I give a short talk. I said that you, at least you, grandpa, you need to stay. Grandma in the kitchen, make lunch for us. Grandma is very serious and obey that kind of humble personality. He just want to serve us food that not get from market. He thought that market food have a lot of things that's not too good for the life of us. So that when I give talk, I focus into the more deep meaning, into wise observation in this highest blessing teaching. I give it almost half an hour of the very skillful, convenient teaching, not according to any note or quote from the others commentary, just in my mind, what I can remember and what I can contemplate in this profound meaning of the word in the Dhamma. So when I finish this half an hour's talk, the grandpa just directly kneel down and dig bow. He said, I thought this is easy. Last night I looked at it, I thought you may give 5 or 10 minutes talk. And then after kneeling down, he said, "Oh, you are master." He said, "How profound you can give the talk like that." So he kneeled down like that. And then he's not enough. "I want to bound you the pattern of the pattern." So more humbly I threw the whole body down to the floor. This is something that I give you a stories about. When the concentration processing in the practice, they have such of the unshakable stillness of the body of concentrate power. And the Buddhism too, one is stillness of concentrate of mind. How can it take it out into the dynamic activity? Means you back to the normal life of walking, sitting, lying down, and do the all dynamic activity in the daily life. But your mental state still in the seizures of feeling and contemplating. This is what the right concentration need to go that kind of profound. So the Buddha said, this is not easy for the lay life, because the lay life only come to certain level because of the concern, rush and attach. They only can come to that level. But the monk or yogi aloneness renunciate, then his mental oneness can overcome the feeling of form, come to the feeling and contemplate in the perception, come into more advance of purification until you cannot name it what is feeling, what is contemplate, because the rush in that moment totally purified. So the function of the body, the function of the mind, in that such moment suddenly ceases. That is in the stillness of meditation can go to experience. But when we come back to the normal life, your right concentration will be more sharp and strong, because you remain very pure, mindful. This is what I want to cover to you all. This talk is more from my own experience and understanding in the root of concentrate, powers of concentrate, and right concentration. That is the last conclusion. Freedom of mind or unshakable mind can be experienced and can be advanced when we are ready, when we see it. This is good thing to do for the monastic life, or for someone who really have the desire of renunciation and aloneness. Aloneness is very important because aloneness can overcome the rush of me and him, or me and them, me and my family, my race, my color, my country. A lot of attachment is here. You cannot open your mind universal. If you want to open your mind pure to universal, yogi value should be seen and should be known. Thank you.